Earlier this year, the city and a group of, let's call them preservationists, squared off over the Lynch home. Many residents believe that the current climate in city leaves no room to save some of the city's history. Should more be done to keep the few remaining historical structures in the city, or do you feel like they may be impeding some of the progress that the city can make? Ms. Jacobs.
I think more is starting to be done. I believe there's discussions being had between Mr. Shimmons and the mayor at this point, more so than there were before. There was definitely more of an impasse, I understand, before. And the intent to actually gut out but keep the frame of the house and do things there to make it more of a destination for some kind of historical event or a second historical building. I believe that's back now on the table, but I do love the idea that should be, and it's naturally to be so, with the arts facility right beside it and having the historical society building there. It's a nice area that should be able to be expanded to be our old history area. And I think there's value to that. And if you look at what our residents want, they really do value the arts and our history. So if we can do that, that's time and money well spent to try to support those initiatives.
I think the city can provide some impetus for that in terms of some seed money. A lot of that, I think, should be left up to private donors and private organizations. Our main focus has got to be on what we look like in the long term. Respecting the past is important. There are things that we can do to help that, but the Lynch House by itself is kind of symbolic of, are we dealing with the old Solon or the new Solon? And what does that new Solon looks like? That's what we should be talking about. And then we can incorporate something like this into the framework of that past. I honestly believe that it's not just the Art Center and the Lynch House, it's the area around it. What are we doing with all of that? And if we have a vision again, and I'm going to keep harping on this subject, because this is what I heard from the residents. They want to hear that from us. They want to feel that sense of excitement that we believe that there are things we can do for the city, and because they feel that way. It's been an astonishing eye-opener for me how passionate people are about these things. So yes, invest in a little bit, try and get private donors to help with the rest of it, but come up with something that's not just those two locations, but the rest of it.
Has to expand past that. It does. It's a no-brainer that it's got to be a bigger area to have that feeling. But the question specifically was about that house in general, and that's a key pin to that. And I believe the Historical Society is manning up a lot of contribution in that regard as well. They're not expecting the city to pay their way for that. That was part of the negotiations, but there are a lot of areas close by there that could make a nice area if expanded.